Hello, I'm in the Greensboro office of the Diocese of North Carolina with Aleph Mumford, who is the director of the School of Ministry for the diocese. Aleph, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
As you may know, the recent General Convention approved for provisional use a liturgy entitled Witnessing and Blessing of a Lifelong Covenant for Same-Sex Couples. In anticipation of that being implemented here in the diocese in Advent, we have planned a pastoral workshop for clergy and other interested persons. This workshop is intended to do two primary things and a third. The two primary things to provide some guidance for congregations that would consider doing discernment to see if this is a ministry that they are being called to. And in addition, to provide some pastoral resources for clergy who are preparing couples for this rite of blessing. I asked Aleph to join us to tell us a bit about the workshop, what's going to happen, who's going to be there. The workshop's going to be November the 29th, Thursday.
Yes.
All Saints Church, Greensboro.
Yes.
From 10 to 3.
10 to 3.
All of that information is included with this edition of Please Note. And the workshop is for clergy and interested laypersons. Who's going to be there and what's going to happen?
We've asked a couple of clergy who have walked this path already. Stephen Elkin Williams at Chapel of the Cross in Chapel Hill, and Lorraine Lundgren at St. Mark's Raleigh. Both of them have had the experience of preparing their congregation and couples for blessings before this provisional liturgy was available. So really it's about their stories, their experiences, about what they actually did, what happened in their congregations, what were the good things, what were the obstacles, what were the blessings that came out of this experience for them. We're also going to ask the people who are coming to really think about their congregation. One of the things that we've learned through getting ready for this pastoral workshop is that each congregation has its unique culture and history. And so each of them have to really think through, what is the process? If we see this as a ministry for our congregation, what must we do to prepare for it? And so we're going to allow them, each person, some time to really think about that and do some of their own initial thought process, a little bit of planning to say, what are my next steps? Where do I need to go? What resources do I need in order to help my congregation go forward? So I think it's going to be an interactive as well as very prayerful time together. I think that this is very exciting for the church to have, is providing this liturgy. There's now some real guidance and real support, I think, for our same-sex couples and part of our congregation. It's very exciting for us.
One of the blessings of the General Convention and the work that was done by the Standing Commission on Liturgy and Music of our church really has provided resources for congregational discernment, resources in terms of pastoral issues and pastoral care, resources in terms of the liturgy and the theology that undergirds this liturgy that we're working with. All of those resources exist now and are available to us. And this workshop will help us take the tools that now exist, that didn't exist several years ago. When we began this ministry back in 2004, none of that existed, but it does now. And it is our prayer that this will be of service to our clergy, our churches, and faithful Christians who seek the blessing of the church on their lifelong committed relationships in Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. Amen.
I'm at Chapel of the Cross in Chapel Hill with the Reverend Stephen Elkins Williams, long-standing and venerable rector of this parish. Thank you, Stephen, for having us.
Sure, glad to have you.
As you already know, we're having a special workshop on the blessing of same-sex unions, providing pastoral care for gay and lesbian couples. And Steve is one of the clergy who will be presenting because he led Chapel of the Cross through a thoughtful discernment process to discern if this was a ministry for the chapel. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we started with an educational series. This is probably 2006 or so, which included a couple of speakers, one from out of diocese, our own Dr. Pfaff, and I was one. And I kind of shared my own evolving thought on this and mailed that out to the whole parish so everyone would have that. It was another year later that we went into a discernment process, used a facilitator. I made my wishes known to the vestry that we consider this, and we did over a series of meetings, and then included the whole parish in it. And finally ended up deciding to go ahead.
So the process was over the course of a year or so.
Yes, yes. And keeping the parish posted all along. Anybody could send emails or letters, and we kept a folder in the office so anybody could come in and read all those messages. They were confidential in the sense that they didn't leave the office, but that was a way for others to hear what other people thought. And it turned out to be a very strengthening process. I think we came out a lot stronger in the long run for having faced up to this.
Before we leave, we've got another. Where'd Brody go?
Come here, Brody.
Oh, he disappeared.
This is my rector therapy dog.
And while we're here at Chapel of the Cross, this is Brody. This is Stephen's dog. Hello, Brody. Well, thank you, Stephen.
Church greeter.
He is an official church greeter. Well, a special thank you to the Chapel of the Cross and to Stephen and to all who will participate in this workshop. God bless you and keep the faith. All right, Brody. Yes.